Air rifle, over. C'est le blind test, est-ce que vous savez ce que c'est ça? Allez, c'est le plus français des Belges qui va mourir. Le porte de message
Klaus. Jede Woche finde ich immer sauhart.
les athlètes apprécient réellement se rendre au Canada et aux États-Unis parce que ils se sont chez les paysages, les grandeurs.
De Sapporo, donc c'est vraiment une très belle performance. C'est ce qui fait pour le retour dans ce groupe numéro 1. Attention, dossard numéro 7, le russe on va avoir quelques passages déjà au intermédiaire, on peut tenter déjà de dire un peu remplir les participants, lui qui a fait sa sortie de course d'étape le temps de référence. Allez, le star numéro 9, celui de Benjamin le Suisse, 13e,
Very smooth, easy track as you head out of the stadium, and then it drops down there as you go around this sharp bend and drops down and then back into the climbing. Johannes Tingesbø just getting himself final stages of preparation.
So Latifov up to one of the early split points, only 0.7 of a kilometre. And remember, this is a 10k sprint race, 2 shoots, first prone, second stand. Nothing changes over the years. But there is a key factor. It will lead to a pursuit, and then, of course, anyone who does well here might win themselves a position in the first mass start of the year. Sunday, Mike's going to be mayhem. I think the numbers that turn out for that, they're restricted, certainly, but I think we're going to have a fabulous atmosphere.
Yeah, undoubtedly, and just to have these spectators again and also around the track, it certainly gives a lot of noise in our ears, but it also gives a lot of support for the athletes.
Number 12, here he is, Johannes Tingesbø, not a bad start position. Remember, he won here in 2013, his first ever World Cup win. He won again in 2017, both wins just over the 22-minute mark, and he shot clear on both occasions. He's had real problems with the prone shoot. His standing shoot stats are actually pretty good, as we have another look at Benny Vega of Switzerland. He's on 89.91. I think most athletes would be happy to have those stats come the end of the season.
Certainly a powerful start from Benny Vega. I wonder how much Johannes Tingesbø, starting number 12, how much time he'll gain on Benny Vega. Probably not much more than 3 or 4 seconds.
Surely his form has got to come at some stage, Mike. What would you do in terms of, would you rest him? Would you sit him out of a World Cup?
It's an interesting one, isn't it? And I would almost think when the performance is way under your par, maybe just go back home, take a break, build up again, just like Tyrrell Eckhoff has done after yesterday.
Yeah. Simoneda, 22nd in the World Cup standings. He was up in the top 10 early on, but Hogfelsen wasn't really a happy hunting ground for him. He's dropped to 80% hit rate in the stand, having missed 2 on a number of occasions. I think 3 races he missed 2 on 1 shoot in the stand, and that did a fair amount of damage to his positional standings. Now let's see what Johannes Tingesbø has done in the early stages. This looks a little bit quicker, just up to the top of the hill before the clock will stop. Karlik with the fastest so far. He's moving well. This looks better.
So much better, Patrick, isn't it? He's got that confidence, the final little flick there, at the end of his drive. Well, it's 3.9 seconds advantage. I think that's a safe and powerful start.
It's only 700 metres. Yes, a lot of it's uphill, but impressive. I suspect this man might just nip inside that time, though. Seb Samuelson's been absolutely flying, and he has the under-25 leader's bib. He has the red bib as the discipline leader. He's leading the sprint standings, and he has the yellow bib as the overall World Cup leader. Did he dream of that at the start of November?
Well, and I think what Samuelson did at home, the big home pressure to take the 2 sprint victories there, 2 separate weekends, and that really did and has set him up well for the season.
So, first to start, first to settle in the range. No spare rounds, and every miss incurring a 150-metre penalty loop. 20 seconds is exceptionally quick. 30 is getting towards the slow side. And when you miss 2 and you take around 27, 28 seconds, you're in a spot of bother in the sprint event. So it won't be Florent Cloud's day. Roman Rees, can he improve on that?
Surprised Roman Rees' time. He started very strong from the stadium. He's 11 seconds down on Karlik's time into the range.
That's a decent shoot, and 30.7, so he can certainly go quicker. But, you know, Mike, I've been looking at the shooting timings for sprints over the last season or so, and it's very, in fact, I can't think of an occasion where the fastest shot actually goes on to win the race. They're usually positioned around 40, 50, 60 because they end up missing. So there is still a little bit of control, a little bit of discipline required in the sprint event.
There is, and Roman Rees, we saw him take 30 seconds. Samuelson, we've just seen, drop 3 seconds, 2.3 seconds. I think Samuelson will shoot in 24 seconds. The rifle is just so steady after each shot. A little movement when he recocks, but builds it beautifully. Wasn't fast, but it was accurate.
Up to 95% hit rate in the prone for Sapala for the season, and that gives him a bit of a confidence boost for the remaining 6.6 kilometres. Squeezes inside Rees' time, and he's got one of the Norwegians. Was that Ligrit just heading out?
I think that was Tarjei Bø.
Tarjei Bø, yeah, that's more like it. Johannes Bø, of course, starting 12. Christiansen started 29 for the Norwegian team. Number 5 just coming through was Scott Gow. This, of course, is Latiapov just settling for his first shoot.
That was fantastic. Wow. 1.6 to 1.8 seconds in between each shot.
Yeah, 23.4 as you can see, so no time wasted by Latiapov. He is getting better and better. It's looking ominous. He may well be a challenger for the overall come the end of the season. Now, Martin Ponsiloma, sprint world champion, and he looked better in Hogfilson, Mike. Had a very good sprint event there, and I wonder, can he match the best in terms of ski speed?
I think he can, Patrick. His weakness, if he has any, it is the shooting, where you get some very good days from Ponsiloma, but you get some pretty poor days as well. Last weekend it went well, coming second, missing 1 target.
That's a big gap. Yeah, an average of, what, 3.7, 3.8 in between shots, 35.6. Benny Vega is not quick enough to afford to be able to throw away those sort of seconds. And down into third place, 19.7 given away to Latypov. He's almost a penalty lap behind the Russian already. It's only -5, but Miklas Karlik has got numb fingers.
Yes,
usually takes. How many times do you have to whirl your hands around your head to get any blood in there?
Oh, you need a good few spin arounds, at least 10.
Yeah. Well, I'm up at 40 just to get the blood down there. So, Karlik with 8 seconds given away on that first loop. Keep an eye on the top right-hand corner of your screen. Johannes Tingis for the first shoot. Remember, the 2 times he's won here, he has shot the perfect 10 out of 10. Third and fourth of the 2 he's been missing a lot. That's better. That is better. Very high foresight, as you saw. And I wonder whether there'll be more adjustments. I think he's changed his kit more than anyone else over the last couple of seasons, hasn't he, Mike?
He certainly, yes, he's gone through that process of another change this summer. You're absolutely right. And that's, for me, that's an unsettled, he's an absolute star in biathlon, but there's something unsettled there when you keep looking at better equipment.
So Christiansen, he was in yellow at the end of week 2 of the tour, had it at the start of Hogfilsen, but could he handle the pressure? Well, we're not to know whether it was the pressure. Hogfilsen, the Norwegian team, struggled a little bit with the ski conditions. The athletes actually, Mike, were pretty loyal to their technicians, but there's no doubt they were not firing on all cylinders there. As we have a look at the standings after that first shoot, and Johannes Tingis, I think that's the first time he's been at the top of any leaderboard this year.
Well, he'll be very happy second time round. He did lose 7 seconds, Patrick, to Latypov's time in terms of shooting. That's quite a lot of time. If he loses it second time, that's nearly 15 seconds lost on the range. It's expensive.
Yeah, compare this to Benny Vega. 2.4, but the penalty, the miss is expensive for Simonetta. Now, Quentin Fillon-Maillet, just listen to the crowd when he exits the stadium. That's got to be worth 5 seconds a lap, at least for Fillon-Maillet. They desperately want to see a French victory here today. No Martin Fourcade to provide that. But actually, even Martin Fourcade used to find it hard to win here.
He certainly did. He really felt the pressure. Fillon-Maillet, I felt, was a little tired on Sunday in the relay. His legs were absolutely, totally fatigued from his performances winning the pursuit.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't start racing again till Friday. Should have been able to do something about it. What about Samuelson? 10.9 outside. There's been a turnaround, Mike, and he's 10 seconds down on Johannes Tingis and a missed target. Maybe the advantage switching towards the Norwegian.
Well, it is early days, isn't it? Christiansen always looks so easy, as if he's out for a Sunday ski, but so strong and such a tall figure. He covers the distance well. Kuhn is only 12.7 seconds off Johannes Tingis Bø's time into the range.
Got his first ever win last week as Jacquelin leads, and Kuhn will have been aware of the rise in decibels here in the Grand Bornand Stadium. 5 out of 5, that's nice enough. Is he going to get his second successive sprint win? He looks a different beast to me this year, Mike. He looks stronger in the core. The leg. German skiers always have powerful legs when they train at Ruhpolding, but he just looks more controlled.
Yes, there's great strength there. Here's Jesper Nellen. What's surprising me today, Patrick, so many of the athletes taking around 29 to 31 seconds So nobody, or most of the big names, are not wanting to risk missing a target.
Yeah, I think they were studying the stats like me. You know, you can be 40th, 50th fastest in the range, but provided the targets go down, you're still in with a chance. Roman Rees has gone and missed 2 on his second shoot, so that's an extra 300 meters. He will not feature. He certainly won't be the best of the Germans today. Taliabeau, can he match his brother, who went clear? He can't match him on the snow. 9.7 given away. But if he can get these away in what, 21, 22?
And they have, of course, shared the podium here, the Boer brothers. I'm sure they would love for that to happen again before Christmas.
So an expensive miss for the older brother. Sapala, second shot, clear as you can see in the prone. We expect that now. Standing is where he's had any issues, if he's had them. Still a good season for Sapala, top 16 in the World Cup standings at the moment. Shame about number 1. Otherwise, that would have set a pretty good target.
Well, there's one safe prediction here. This is going to be fast. If he gets all 5, he really does have a chance of winning, Latypov.
Yeah, I think he's been told to make sure. It's not exactly a rhythmical shoot. 4.5 down to 2.1, back up to what, 4.1? 5.2 for that last one, but 5 have fallen, and as you say, Mike, he's in contention after that performance. And you know, with the consistency that Latypov has shown so far this year, he deserves a shot at the top spot on the podium.
Yes, he does. And just looking at the track, of course, Johannes Tingesbo is chasing his time on the track, but Johannes is not really creating a big deficit. He's only got 5 seconds advantage coming into the second shoot.
Consoloma slow to the first shoot. Have the Swedes finally run out of gas, or have they not quite got the ski preparation right today?
Yes, I think those first 2 World Cups at home, they really dug deep there. There was a lot of tension in terms of Olympic selection to secure your position in the national team. So the athletes have been racing very, very hard the last 4 weekends.
Yeah, it's a tough program now pre-Christmas with 4 rounds of the World Cup. Lazowski, is he going to become the 3rd man to clear all 10? Latypov has done it. Kobanocki has done it for Japan, and could be on for another sort of top 15 result. That would be great. And Lazowski has done it, and I think we can already say that it's going to take 10 out of 10 to win this. I can't think of anyone other than Samuelsson who has shown enough ski speed this year to miss and still think they're going to win.
Well, Benny Vega, he needed all 10 today, but that last shot, the difficult last shot, has caught him out.
Well, the next big name on the range will be Johannes Tingesbo, after we've seen Vytautas Strolia from Lithuania. Johannes Tinges started 1.5 minutes down on Benny Vega, and he has he's approaching the range now, Johannes Tinges, and he's got a margin of, as Mike said, just 3.6 seconds to play with. It's a shooting battle, Mike. Trying to remember what the shooting time for Latypov was.
It was 30 seconds, 30.1. Johannes is trying to go fast.
Oh. That's how to do it. That's what he did in the relay. That's what he's done today. And he may well be back to winning ways. There will be many, many Norwegians celebrating that performance. He's not won it yet by any stretch of the imagination. Jacquelin and Fielmayer can both match him for speed at the moment. But it's Johannes Tingesbo who has the lead, looking for World Cup win number 53. He's got another 3.3k, but he has not got the speed that we've seen from him in the past. Christiansen with an early miss. That's a bit of a surprise in the prone position.
Yes, prone. Christiansen, you normally can claim with some confidence you'll get 5 out of 5.
What's this going to be? 15 seconds to the first shot? Maybe even more. Some athletes are already away. That will do. That will do for Lukas Hofer.
I was trying to find his time into the range there. It's so far down the list, somewhat 19 seconds off the pace into the range. And he leaves 19 seconds behind.
Groan from the crowd when they saw Fillon-Maillet's second shot going wide. But 4 out of 5, he could still get on the podium. Remember, he finished third here 2 years ago. Norath for Germany. Who's going to be the top German come the end of the season? Big question. At the moment, Johannes Kern is up there, 13th place in the World Cup rankings at the start of today, largely on the basis of that brilliant win in Hochfilzen a week ago.
I do think Philip Norath, it's good skiing time. He was 9th fastest into the range. I think we're going to see a big improvement from Benny Doll today. He starts bib 51 for Germany.
Fabian Cloud. Florian Cloud, his brother, already away, started number 1. So almost 25 minutes between the two of them. Seb Samuelsson now, he missed in the pro. He's got to go clear to get anywhere near the top 3. That's better. Nice solid position, really confident standing position from Samuelsson. And I think he's going to struggle to win it, Mike. Johannes Tingis out in 16:18. This is going to be closer to the 17-minute mark. Away he goes, 40.3 given away.
Yes, Jacqueline, Patrick, he didn't look comfortable. He took an age to release the first shot and he missed it. So 1 penalty look for Jacqueline.
Now, Kern. He's trailing. Coming into the range, 17 behind Johannes Tingis, as you can see. He is 14 seconds behind Latypov, who missed 1. In fact, Latypov going clear. I do beg his pardon. He went clear and sitting in second place at the moment. Kern will not match the win that he got last week, especially with 2. Spinelli may well end up being the best Swede today. Lying in 7th, coming in with that deficit of 36 seconds. Four out of 5, Loganov on his first shoot. Loganov ranked 15 so far this year. Sprint is his best discipline. This is where he figures he has the best chance of winning. Just missed the podium in Hochfilzen, finishing 4th in the race that Kern won. And Loganov exits pretty sharply. Latypov on the charge for home. This is it going to be his best of the season? Started early, and Latypov, who's had only 1 podium in his career, would dearly love to be in the top 3. He sets a very tough time, 23:37. But remember, Johannes Tingis won in 22:06 when he won here 2017. So I suspect we will see that time bettered. And Johannes Tingis, Mike, any news on his last lap?
Yes, he's extended his lead to front on Latypov. It was 11 seconds when they left the range. He's at 8.2 kilometers now, and he's extended that to 15.3. So a very good news day for Johannes Tingis.
A good news day for Jake Brown, and he can clear 5.
That was such a mind game going on there. He felt those 5 were going to go down. He looked stable, and then he started thinking about the outcomes. He was performing very well at that point. This looks like Johannes. Maybe not. Laszewski's having a good race. 3rd position, although not many in yet at the finish line.
Yeah, good strong finish from Laszewski. We've got a total of only 4 men have just double-checked that. I think we must have a few more than 4 clear. 5 athletes clear after the 2nd shoot at the moment. Laszewski is one of them, but still finds himself almost a minute behind Latypov, the race leader. Johannes Tingesbø started 2 minutes down on Laszewski, so he should be in around a minute and a half, maybe even just slightly quicker than that. Here he comes. Here he comes. Is he heading towards his first win of the season? He's got a little bit of traffic in front of him. Was that, I don't think it was Simoneda. Yeah, he's got his racing head back on. And maybe it needed a good clear shoot. I think the relay may have given him a lot of confidence, Mike, because that standing shoot was something else. He did not hang around, and he crosses the line. Only 7.2 to spare over Latypov, having been 15 seconds clear of him at 8.2. So he's really struggled over the last K and a half, Mike. It is not vintage Johannes Tingesbø.
It's not, but that surprises me. The section of track there from 8.2 kilometers, it's very much a descent back down into the stadium. I'm wondering if the glide factor today, once again, is maybe not the best on Johannes' skis, but still a fabulous win time for now.
Well, just going back to shoot number 1, Lapshin of Korea has produced the fastest shoot time, and actually sitting in 4th position, having started 17. Just try and find out what happened to Lapshin on his 2nd shoot. He's still up in 3rd, so he's on the charge at the moment. That's a really good race from him.
It's good to see Khalili, and it will be good to see, to watch how he puts his rifle on, a very unique method. And normally he hits all 5. Oh, well, he's adapted his rifle on style. It was a little twist, a little helicopter spin he had last year, but certainly,
I think he's been
certainly quick.
I think he's been watching Lucas Hoffer and deciding that's a slightly better technique. Ligrid starting for Norway. Christiansen on his 2nd shoot for Norway. Missing 1 in the pro, needs 5. Usually pretty reliable in the stand position. Oh, that looked fantastic, Mike. You wouldn't want to be in his sights.
He is just so calm and very strong through his shooting position.
Yeah, let's see if Hoffer can show the same sort of confidence. It's a long hold for the first shot again from Lucas. Let that last one go. That was bad discipline for someone of his experience. And 2 penalty loops. Now, here comes Samuelsson. And Samuelsson, last time we saw him, was down in 5th position. Actually, by 8.2, he'd moved up into 4th position, 42 seconds off the leaders. He's not going to win here today, but is he going to do enough to defend the yellow bib? He's only got some 7 points ahead of Jacquelin. Christiansen some 25 points behind. He should be able to hold off the Norwegian. And Samuelsson goes 3rd for now. 40 seconds given away for tomorrow's pursuit. Now, Lapshin's had a great race so far, Mike, wearing 17. Here he comes, 0-0 on the range, and Lapshin could be in for his first podium of the season.
Well, that's some turnaround. Last week, 6 days ago, when he raced this race in Hochfilzen, he was 69th position. He did miss 3, though.
Sur 10 à une quarantaine de secondes, 42 secondes de Johannes
Good work from the South Korean. Of course, formerly from Russia. I guess by making that move, Mike, he's extended his racing career.
Yes, he has. He's, what, 33-year-old now. Very lightly raced this season. And, of course, the Olympics again are the big aim.
Jacquelin missing in the prone. Oh, well, it sounded like a hit. 1.5 seconds in between shots, quick to realign, and on the whole pretty accurate, but an 80% hit rate for Jacquelin. He's not going to feature in the top 2, I wouldn't have thought, possibly 3rd, but it would take a pretty spectacular last loop from him. So let's just confirm the positions after that second shoot. Johannes Tingesbø is fastest, Latypov 2nd, Lapshin, who's just crossed the finish line, 3rd, and Smolsky lying in 4th position, 27 behind. He started 26, so he'll be finishing in the next 3 minutes or so after Jesper Nellin comes across the line, take away 26 seconds, and Nellin would have gone into the top 3 as it is, 6th position. And is he going to be the best Swede? No, because we've already got Samuelsson sitting in 3rd, 40 seconds behind.
Just out on the track, Patrick, Fillon-Maillet is in 4th position. He's only to find 2 more seconds to move up into 3rd place, so I think we'll see Fillon-Maillet on the podium. And
we shouldn't, as we watch Tadej Bø coming in to finish, 2 misses. He's skiing well, actually, Mike, only to be 40 seconds behind. The 2 penalty loops taking at least 48, probably closer to 50 seconds. So he's only just down on the ski pace set by his brother, and Tadej Bø goes 5. Both brothers likely to end up in the top 10 today. Logging off with a miss in the stand. That's cost him his chance. Yeah, he would have been looking at top 3. Mike, I just wanted to point out Simon Dessieux, who's had a really good start to his race and is looking good after the first shoot, lying in 5th, 13 seconds down.
Well, that really is a challenger. He's ahead of Loginov at that particular time.
Yeah, and Gigener, who likes racing here.
So, yes, that's bib 39 and 47, certainly going to keep the race well and truly alive. Well, here he is, Dessieux.
Slightly unorthodox order at the end of his standing shoot. Oh, is that what threw him out? Just under the 90% hit rate today. And another miss in the stand.
Well, Bakken is certainly skiing very well, but there was a lot of tension there in terms of his shooting position, and it didn't pay off on the range.
Now, Smolsky on the charge, and he's been in a good position all the way through the race today. Smolsky, who's got a PB of 3rd, he did that in Hogfilson this year, so he's hit a rich vein of form over the last couple of weeks, and he goes into 3rd position. That's fantastic, Mike. What a change around.
That is incredible, isn't it? The team have got energy, they've got momentum, and the ski speed is just going up and up each race.
Yeah, Hannah Sola going like the wind for the women, missing out yesterday. Good women's race yesterday in the sprint.
Well, Felix Leitner, he shot very well on Sunday in the pursuit competition, missing just 1 there.
Well, Anderson has produced a cracking run over the first lap, only 11.8 down. Goes up in third place, ahead of Johannes Kern, ahead of Lapshin, ahead of Detieu, ahead of Loginov. So some big scalps taken on that first loop. What sort of endurance has he got? Now, Christiansen, I wonder what his last lap is, Mike. Just looking, Latypov with the fastest last lap so far of 7:07. The Johannes Tingesbø, Norway, some 4.5 seconds given away on that last lap.
Well, this is important. Christiansen, he needs to try and get in front of Samuelsen, and that will help Johannes Tingesbø pull more points back to the top of the world ranking.
Yeah, that should happen, I think. He's only got some 30 meters to go. It's going to be tight, though. 40.7 is the margin he's just going to squeeze in. And into fourth place for Christiansen. He's what, a 7:12 for his last lap. The fastest so far, 7:07. Latypov is in the shape of his life, Mike. That was a fantastic last loop from him. In fact, it was an incredible last. It was really the last 1.5 kilometers, which, as you've mentioned, is generally downhill back into the stadium.
Yes, certainly suggesting the glide factor. Here's Fillon Maillet. He's tried to get as many gains as he can. I think it will be third position.
Yeah, that's good, but he wants the win. He would have loved the win. He'll celebrate for now. He knows you win some, lose some in this game, but when you make mistakes and you still get into the top 3, that's pretty encouraging. So the positions in the finish. We still have a long way to go, and this man could certainly upset the apple cart. Not anymore.
Well, he finished third, what was it, 2 years ago? Unlikely to finish third, missing that shot.
Yeah, he shot clear on that occasion. He was still some, what, 30 seconds down on Johannes Tingesbø, the winner. But 2 misses, too many. And in the finish, Fillon Maillet is the fastest of those who has missed a target, and he sits in third. Is anyone else going to depose him?
Well, Johannes Tingesbø, Patrick, with the big names crossing the line, not challenging. He must be feeling a lot better today.
Yeah, I wonder whether this is going to be the catalyst for his season. A change in form. Is it all about confidence? I'm still not convinced he's on his best form.
No, I have that same feeling. His form is much better on the skis, but certainly the confidence in terms of shooting, still very careful, prone shooting, 30 seconds, rapid fire stand, and that is the confidence coming back for Johannes.
Yeah, this could be the fastest time with 2 misses, so Jacquelin is still there. He'll be a contender tomorrow in the pursuit. He is, of course, the double world champion when it comes to pursuits. Got that brilliant victory in Pachuca at the Worlds last year to defend his title. Fabian Cloud. Just a delicate little touch with the trigger finger, but generally, when you can see the trigger finger moving, the shot goes wide, and you could see that with both of the last 2 shots for Cloud.
And Patrick Favre, the coach, the head coach for the men, just shaking his head. 2-2 for Cloud.
Okay, this is the prone where Johannes Tinges has had issues this season. Oh, that would have grouped in a 5-penny piece, I suspect. Not a bad prone shoot.
I wonder what happened for him to lose nearly 8 seconds to Latypov on that final, 900 to 1 kilometer on the track. Unusual. That's normally Johannes Tingesbø's strength.
Well, Benedict Doll, who is the defending champion here in the sprint event, misses one, and I think fair to say he's thrown away his chance. I beg to differ, Mike, because I don't think Johannes Tinges he's one of those racers who's never been able to control his pace early on, and therefore has slightly less to give later on. And I wonder whether Latypov saved something for the last lap.
Well, interesting. Johannes, historically, yes, he's punched hard on the first lap, but yes, and can burn out a little towards the end. But certainly the early punch, he used to lead into the first shoot by 17 seconds, Johannes, and then it was survival after that. But I thought he may have a little more for that last lap today.
Yeah, but I think you're absolutely right. The loss of time over that last kilometre is slightly unusual. Could he have taken a tumble? It's possible. We didn't see anything, haven't heard anything from out on the tracks. And it's hard to believe that Norwegians have made that bad a choice with the base of the ski. Now, let's see what De Thieu has done. Take away 26 seconds, which is his penalty time. And this would have been looking at a top 3. As it is, he's up against, he's not going to match Lapshin. Loganov on 49, I think will be safe. And Tarjei Bø may well move down 1 position. He will, down into 11th. De Thieu goes 10. And we now have 1, 2, 3 Frenchmen in the top 10. Once again, looking like the strongest nation.
And that's great news for them tomorrow as well, isn't it? The pursuit competition and the deficit time, it's nothing. Just De Thieu 52 seconds behind Johannes Tinges Bø tomorrow.
Femling and Mustonen. Yeah, just wondering with the French, Mike, massive investment made for the Albertville Olympics. And really, this is still the legacy of that investment.
It is. That's all those years ago, nearly 30 years ago. And the team prior to that in 1988, the Olympics before, they weren't top rated, but slowly they got better leading into that one Olympic Games, which changed French biathlon completely. And then the women coming in to race there in Albertville as well. They really had developed for the 8 previous years a very strong women's team, which remains to this day.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, and I wonder how important it is that they've had men who have consistently won the overall World Cup. Raphael Poré, of course, Martin Fourcade, dominant for what a 7-8 year period, and that of course has kept the media glued to everything that the biathlon team have done.
Yes, I think what Raphael Poré did, he put French biathlon on the map, but Martin Fourcade really made it a very popular and televised, big audience sport.
Yeah. Another miss from Bakken. If Anderson goes clear, we have a contender for a top 3. Margin between the top 3 at the moment, 21 seconds. Comfortably inside that. Now, what's he made of?
Oh.
Stern stuff. That is a good shoot, really consistent. Ziggy Mazet likes it, and 24.4 makes it a strong performance from Anderson. Lapshin is going down into 3rd, but remember, Lapshin still has a good time. Not the fastest anymore on that last loop. Phil Maillet, the quickest now.
Khalili, as we're seeing with the Russian team today, much improved in terms of dynamic movements, in terms of ski time, and much improved ski pace. They have done well in the last couple of weeks of racing.
And Khalili, top 10 for now. Khalili goes 48.2. I think Anderson is certainly going to be pushing him down a slot when he comes across the line. Quickest last loop, Mike, now goes to Phil Maillet. Jacquelin in 2nd, so the French going very well over that last loop. Is that the home advantage factor? Is it the fact that they know the snow conditions here better than most? Leibrid, his season yet to take off, but this would help if he can down 5.
Oh,
this is more like it.
Excellent.
Hey, lovely shooting. Double boost for Mazet at the back end of this race, 22.2, and suddenly the Norwegians are in a position to get a clean sweep, which is what the French achieved in the pursuit last week in Hogfilsen. That would be the perfect reply to the French dominant in Austria.
Well, very, very firm, accurate hold of the rifle. I didn't think this track profile quite suited Leigrid as well as many of the other athletes of his same standard. The very steep climbs, the twisty curves, but clearly Leigrid having a fabulous day.
Anderson, who was 6 down on Latyapov, he's now 7 down on Latyapov. And has 8 seconds to play with ahead of Smolsky. He has got to keep that work rate up. Gigenar goes 17 with 2 misses, 1:12, 50 seconds off. He would be looking at the podium. He's just praying for that clear shoot because he's certainly podium potential if he can get the perfect score. Well, there are the standings. We still have a couple of quick athletes out on the track. Both of them are Norwegian, so the Norwegian flag could be very much in evidence in the top 5 at the end of today. Here's the man who put in such a good challenge for the overall title last year. Oh, best shoot of the day, Mike?
That was exceptional. I think Johannes Tingesbø on his standing shoot, compared to where he has been the last few weekends, for me that was the shoot of the day, and Leigrid very close in second place.
Quickest standing shoot of the day. Had to double check this. Jaliot now, 17.8.
I thought you were going to say Lapshin. He's normally takes all the risk on the range.
Yeah, Lapshin's on 19. We've got Ermit's on 20. Bakken on 21.2. He missed one. Johannes Tingesbø did a 21.4 and hit all 5, which is part of the reason that he's sitting on top of the table at the moment.
Leigrid has lost 6 seconds, Patrick, from the range in the first 700 metres. So he's going to lose time on this last lap.
Yeah, I think there's certainly more moisture in the snow now with the air temperature warming up. I think tough draw for Leigrid. I think if he hangs on to a top 3, that would be miraculous. Anderson, 20.4. Margin in the finish, 21.2, separating the top 3. I don't think he's going to overtake Fillon-Maillet. Benedict Doll can't repeat his performance from the last time we raced here, which was December 2019. He won on that occasion with a time of 23.22, and all 3 podium finishers shot the perfect score. At the moment, Fillon-Maillet, with 9 out of 10, is still hanging on to 3rd position.
Well, I'm surprised. We're looking at, well, just under 10% of the field, 9 athletes at the moment. Still more to come through. 9 athletes have shot the perfect score. I am surprised. There's no wind influence whatsoever. So it's just the athletes coming in and taking a little too much risk in terms of shooting speed, picking up penalties.
Leigrid up to 8.2. He was in 3rd last time we saw him, only 20 seconds down on the leaders. He was just 0.1 of a second ahead of his teammate Anderson, who is still on 20.4, and Leigrid a little way to go. Fillon-Maillet on 27. He's into 23. Leigrid sitting 4th now. Latyapov will breathe a sigh of relief in the finish area, because it's Latyapov of Russia who is in second position behind Johannes Tingesbø. And I think Norway, are they going to have to settle for, I think they may have to settle for just 1 podium finish.
It seems that way now. Philip Fjeld Andersen maybe is the one to bring them through. He was in 3rd place at that distance where we saw Leigrid 20 seconds behind.
I was saying the moisture in the snow up until about 1 o'clock, that was the case, but definitely there has been a drop in temperature since then, and I wonder whether Bornand has benefited from a really late start. He shot brilliantly. That is fantastic. And number 71 could be on for a PB today. 10 out of 10. He's only just over 40 seconds behind. And is it going to be a top 15? It is for now.
That's wonderful. He was showing form last week, I felt, Bornand. He looked good in the relay and in this race, the sprint. 26th position last week.
Anderson with 200 meters to go, 13 seconds to achieve it. Even Usain Bolt wouldn't manage that, and he won't match the leading time of Johannes Tingesbø. Latipov at 7.2 is safe. Phil Maillet is the man who's watching the big screen now, and he's hoping that the Norwegian doesn't appear, but this is going to be tight. 21.2 is the target, 15 seconds for the last 100 meters. Luckily, he gets a little bit of boost from that drop into the stadium. 50 meters to go now for Anderson. He's picked up the speed over the last few laps. He's going third. Phil Maillet is down a 4, and the French miss out on a podium finisher. But Anderson, well, he celebrates, but does he know that his teammate Lygrid is in a very, very similar position, only, what, 3 seconds apart, going through 8.2.
Well, by far and away his best ever performance at the World Cup, and you know what, a podium may well have bought his ticket to Beijing.
If he stays on the top, he points at the skis, he knows they were good. And actually, Mike, that was a brilliant finish, because Anderson was 20 seconds down going through 8.2. He's pulled that back to 18.2 seconds. Fastest last lap still goes to Phil Maillet. Now here is Sturleholm Lygrid, unless I'm mistaken. It is Lygrid, and 21. Well, by this stage, in fact, he looks to be on a similar sort of time scale to Anderson. He was 3.4 seconds behind his teammate. So here we go, 18.2. I think he's just going to miss it, isn't he, Mike?
I feel that. I think he is. He certainly has improved the pace from where we saw him at 8.2, but no, he's running out of time. In fact, I think he's going to finish behind Phil Maillet.
Well, it's going to be very, very tight. He's got 3 seconds to get inside the Frenchman. Oh, he's got 20 meters. You're absolutely right. And Smolski is the man who gets pushed down. Phil Maillet stays number 4, but 3 Norwegians now in the top 5 positions. Suddenly, it looks very healthy for last year's Nations champions.
Well, a late starter, Povornitsen, may well get those who thought they're safe and sound on the podium and may well keep them on the edge of their seat for the next 15, 18 minutes.
Well, he's lost 15 already. He can't afford to lose any more time if that's the case. So he's got to shoot clear, and he's got to pick the pace up on the last loop. And if it drops, the temperature drops another degree or so, there may be an increased amount of ice in the surface snow. So Vostov with a good prone shoot, but time taken 30.2.
Well, I mean, they are challenging times. That's only, what, some 3-4 seconds behind Anderson's time, and 7 seconds behind Lygrid. So another strong performance from another Belarus athlete, Varabai. So his first and the last from 5 shots. He was having a great race, but the pressure just getting to him.
So 23.30 looks as though it may well be the winning time. Last time round with Benedict Doll, it was 23.22. So the conditions maybe not quite as quick, but a very competitive race at the front of the field. The French did their best, Mike, but both Phil Maillet and Jacquelin missing targets. Phil Maillet 1, Jacquelin 2. That really ruled them out of winning here today on home snow. And it's Johannes Tingesbø gets his first win of the season, his 53rd World Cup victory on the venue where he got his first. How about that?
Yes, amazing stats there, Patrick, from Johannes Tingesbø. 8 years ago, when he was just 20-year-old, expectations were wide open then. He knew he could be a world beater, and he did start all that time ago. Eric Lesser could threaten. This is okay. Maybe doesn't quite have the ski speed to match the fast Norwegians, Andersen and Leigrid.
Yeah, I think realistically, Lesser, with that sort of a margin on the first lap, if he stays within a minute of the winning time, he's done well. That will just put him inside the top 20. Quite a big margin down to 60. Mike at the moment sitting at 3 minutes 8 seconds.
Well, maybe that's a real indication of how strong this upper 15, 18 athletes are now in men's biathlon.
Oh,
so Benny Dahl missed 2, Philip Horn has missed 2. The German team are missing, well, 20% of the targets today, most of them.
Yeah, Kern, last week's winner, missing 2 as well. Norath missed 1. So you're right, nothing really for Mark Kurtner to be dancing around the dinner table tonight.
He doesn't often do that much.
As I said it, I wondered when he last did that.
Maybe it was last Saturday when Kern took the first German victory in a sprint race for almost 2 years. Well, it's 2 years ago this week. So maybe he did dance last Saturday night. No, actually, he did like his nightclubs when he was a top-class athlete, actually.
Well, everyone of his, and certainly my age, should be a closet dancer as far as I'm concerned. Søren Fostov, skiing nicely.
A slightly lonely race out there at this stage. You haven't got the athletes to latch in behind who are on their first lap, and you can get that drag-on effect by tucking in behind them.
Contrasting techniques there. Labastau, who was the last starter, 1:11, sticking to the skate 1. And Bornand now, this is a really good effort from Bornand. Just misses that top 15, but he stayed within a minute. He'll have a great start in the pursuit tomorrow if he recovers in time. He's put it all out there. That's a good effort from him.
And that is the best Italian result. And what about Vindish? He was sent back to the IBU Cup, but good news for Italian fans of Vindish. He did come second today, 9 seconds off the lead there. So maybe we'll see Vindish after Christmas back in the World Cup team.
Yeah, I wonder, is that just a wake-up call, or do you think Vindish himself saying, look, take the pressure away for a bit, and I'll refine my confidence?
Yeah, maybe he just wasn't producing through his rifle. He wasn't giving any decent Italian results, and at the end of the day, there are young and up-and-coming athletes ready to replace you. So he was sent back. Maybe you're right, as a warning, right, you need to lift your game. And I think he did do that today by hitting 18 out of 20 in the individual, the 20-kilometer race.
Yeah, isn't that the difference, though, with the Italians? And I'm trying to think, we can't put the French in that bracket, but the slightly weaker teams who rely on the same names year after year after year. The Norwegians have someone at the top for a long time, but there are so many who come in, go out, come in, some stay. Leigrid will be here. Christiansen's established himself, and Andersen, obviously, today with a brilliant performance, has made his name. And they're always changing over. There was always pressure for those places. The British team, a classic example. There was no pressure at the top.
No, there wasn't. There's Sean Doherty. I was just couldn't even say anything because I was hoping he'd get 5 out of 5 to make it 10 out of 10. But still, he's well and truly back into his best shape. Doherty. Yes, you're talking about the Norwegians, Patrick, and of course Johannes Dahle, he's been sent back as well to the IBU Cup because of his poor results, sadly. He did finish 22nd today in an IBU Cup, so he probably won't be coming back for the first World Cups after the Christmas break. Yeah,
Dahle, of course, 5th in the overall World Cup at the end of last year, so he was one of the rising stars alongside Ligrid. And Norway with 4 of the top 5 finishers in the overall World Cup last year. Probably their best ever season. And Johannes Tingesbø just squeaking it. What was it? 13 points between himself and Ligrid after 26 races.
Yeah.
It was some climax.
We saw Martin Jaeger there, just being brought back for his first World Cup. He's 33 years old now, but racing IBU Cup, good results there. He's back at World Cup. You can see in the background, there's the entry to the range. So it's been a long descent to that stage. You do a switchback, and really it does allow you to reduce your pulse rate as you come into this range.
Just having a look at Yan Xingguang of China, who's settled just along the range from Povenitsin. We haven't seen much of the Chinese so far this year. I wonder how the Bjorndal and Domracheva project is going.
Well, they certainly put a lot of time and effort and finance into their progression. I think they are a better team, but we haven't seen any, well, top bracket results yet. Excellent. Well, there's a challenge on. He's still got the length of the range to ski for Povenitsin.
Yeah, I don't think the appearance of a new trainer can make an instant difference in a team. Even Ziggy Mazet would agree with that. And when you're taking a nation such as China that are very much in their infancy, it's a long project. It's not 1 season, 2, probably closer to 6, 7.
Yes, the building blocks take such a long time. The skills are so opposed. You need to be such an amazing athlete in terms of your engine, your capacity. But then you have to be the opposite of that, the most calm athlete in the world within the physical storm. So it's a very unusual athlete, is a biathlete. And I think you're right, it takes 6, 7, 8 years to really develop an athlete to be able to race well at World Cup.
Well, Farabai getting a little bit tied up, and just looking to see how expensive that mistake could be. He should just about squeeze into the top 40. So if he doesn't, he's lost it. He's lost himself some World Cup points as a result of that little stumble. He'll live to regret that. 44th position, only the top 40 getting points, and he only needed half a second.
Just thinking, as Eric comes in, Patrick, this venue, I don't think there's ever been an athlete who's found one particular venue so successful as Johannes Tingesbø as he's done today. From 8 races prior to today, 6 wins, so now 7 wins from 9 races. It's exceptional.
Yeah, and he finished 4th in the sprint last time here.
That painful last shot, I thought Eric was going to absolutely nail that final shot. He hesitated a little, and that shot went wide. Philip Horn missing 2, 123 behind. The ski speed is good. Take the penalties away, and absolutely a contender.
Only 11 perfect scores on the range so far. I was expecting to see something closer to 20 to back up my theory that the shooting here actually, Mike, is easier than many ranges that we go to.
It really is, and especially the recovery. There is always some risk taken today in a sprint competition. Athletes are pushing to the edge their safe shooting speed, and Johannes Tingesbø didn't get caught up in that trap with a almost 31-second stop-start time on the range for his prone shooting, but he took all the risk in the stand, and it did pay off.
Now, how is Povernitsin doing? He's still got a way to go, probably another 60 meters or so. So he's not going to challenge the top 5. Likely to be 9 or 10 when he comes through. And if he manages that, he's putting pressure on Lapshin and, importantly, Kalili, his teammate. Well, he goes 10. He goes 10 at 8.2. And Lapshin is a little way ahead. Lapshin, of course, racing for Korea. Loginov is just behind him, and he could well end up being the second best Russian today. He won't get anywhere near Latyapov, who is still in the finish in second position, just 7.2 behind the winner, having produced an unbelievably quick final lap, Lapshin, and not quite as quick as Phil Maillet and Jacquelin, but early stages. He took, what, 5 seconds out of Johannes Tingesbø on that last loop?
Yes, he did. And I was just thinking, with Povernitsin is only 0.5 of a second behind Samuelson at this point, so that may affect Samuelson's points. If Povernitsin can keep the same pace, it's unlikely that he'll move ahead of Samuelson.
Yeah, it'd be nice for Povernitsin to beat the top 10, his personal best, which I think it was 2015, 2016 season, when he had a good race out in Presqu'île, which, to be fair, there were a number of top athletes missing. So to get anywhere near the top 10 is a good result for him.
Just that image of all the fans there. I think they've got to be happy. Phil Maillet 4th, they would have preferred a podium. Jacquelin 7th, and still Détieux in 13th place.
Yeah, but they'll make an exciting race tomorrow. If any of the Frenchmen go 0-0 on the prone, they'll be in the mix for the second half of the men's pursuit. The women's pursuit will be first, and of course Marta Olsbu-Royslund will be leading off. What did she have? 15 seconds or so advantage over Bescon. Elvira Erberg will be starting third. She's only got 16 seconds, so Erberg, Mike, may well put pressure on Royslund on that very first lap.
Oh, yes, well, Royslund certainly looks in supreme form right now. Sean Doherty, we saw him miss the last shot, take the penalties away. It's a good and much improved performance for the American.
Possible World Cup points, but he's got a while to wait with 111 starters. And just having a look for Doherty in terms of his earlier splits. Now, Oscar Brandt, Sweden with Samuelsson in 9th, Nellin down in 18. Ponsaloma hasn't had his best of days, actually struggling to find Ponsaloma's name. Femling is 38, Stephenson down in 50. So certainly a chance to be in the top 3 in terms of the Swedish team. No, not with 2 more misses.
No, Oscar Brandt, not vastly experienced in terms of World Cup racing. This doesn't look good for Povernitsin. It does look better for Samuelsson to hold on to his position. His 9th position.
Christensen safe. Samuelsson is very safe, still about 10 seconds from here. Looking at about 51 seconds there or thereabouts, 52.3, and Povernitsin, losing a lot of places over that last kilometre. 52.3 and 14th place. Sarah Vostok, now that's the sort of finish that Povernitsin needed.
Well, this reminds me of the great Vladimir Drachev, the tempo, the small stature, but the absolute warrior on skis, never stopped fighting.
beats the minute margin, and Serek Vostov, solid performance from him. 18th place at the moment. In terms of Russians ahead of him, we've got Povernitsin, we've just seen finish going into 14, and then Latyapov, by far and away the best, in second place with a time of 23:37. So Lepasto with a chance. Can he join the 11 men with the perfect score? He may well do. He does. Good shooting. Very good shooting. And if he can raise his game on the last 3 kilometres, he may stay top 20. But he's going to have to gain a few seconds, as you can see. Well, the day is just about done. No one else out on the tracks is going to threaten. Let's just have a look at the top performance from today. And best of all, for the first time this year, Johannes Tingis Bø. He gets a long-awaited win for the season. It's taken 7 races, but he's back to winning ways. 53 World Cup victories to his name. Johannes Tingis will be the first to start in tomorrow's pursuit.
Qu'il mérite un très bon œil et que les champions du monde se déroulent dans ce stade s'il m'écarte. Donc avec un ambassadeur de ces termes-là, normalement on peut pas venir. C'est pas mal. C'est aller les deux, bien aller les bleus. Donc ça c'est pas mal du tout aussi. Et on a des stades grands bleus derrière qui seront aussi aller les bleus.
So Eric Lesser, his final attack to the line. What a pity. The last shot missed from Eric. But it's a good performance. The best of the Germans is still Norath, Philip Norath, in 19th position, sorry, 16th position, and some 53 seconds behind. So Eric looking like that will be the second best in terms of, third best it is actually, in terms of the German team. So another decent and safe performance from Eric Lesser. But tomorrow, the pursuit competitions, that's where Eric Lesser loves to be chasing and hunting down those ahead of him. He is certainly one of those athletes where he really lifts his game in terms of relays and pursuit competitions. So Lepasto, that's another strong Belarus performance. Reminds me of the great days of Belarus biathlon in the men's field. It was a long time ago, throughout the 90s, mid 2000s. But they've had taken some time to rebuild a strong and fast and accurate team. But it certainly looks like they've achieved that this year. Well, Martin Jaeger, I think this is a good performance. He's going to finish some, what, 139, 140 odd behind at his projected pace loss. And I think he did lose that last shot as well. Well, there's Sandra Flunger sprinting well up the valley alongside him, just to give him that, that little extra boost. And the clear information that you always need when you're racing around the tracks. Well, there we have it, the first win for Johannes Tingis Bø. Delighted to see that again today. It was predictable the way he raced on Sunday in the relay. There was something of the former great biathlete coming back. Still a little, I was going to say, lacking in confidence in prone shooting. He played safe in the prone shooting to secure all 5 shots, but absolute rapid fire in standing. Latyapov, Edward Latyapov, he's been threatening, he's been looking good, and the season has been a much improved season in terms of his ski speed. So Johannes Tingis Bø taking yet another win in his favorite venue. So Daniele Capellari missing 3. That's a decent ski time given he's missed 3, but he won't make the start tomorrow. Only the top 60 starting in the pursuit competition tomorrow. So Capellari needed to hit, well, certainly 1 more target, possibly 2, to have qualified for tomorrow.
Sur le mois de janvier, à n'en pas noter, et puis sur ces neiges d'Antols sur la 3e semaine de encore plus importante, on va dire, en tout cas un peu plus grande que les autres années, puisque ce sera la dernière étape du monde avant le grand départ patricien et les Jeux Olympiques.
Allez, il y a toujours un public à présent, bien dense sur les virage, derrière la source là, il y a un problème partout sur toutes les zones, et on compte sur lui pour encourager les dernières poussées.
So Martin Jaeger coming into the stadium as the sun goes down towards the end of the day, coming up, well, just gone actually, 3:30 local time here. Nearly misjudging that tight left-hander. He got very close to the fencing at the side of the track. And this is okay. Nice to see Martin back in the World Cup, and certainly strong performance. Take that last shot away and he'll be just over the minute behind, which could well have put him in the top, well, I think the top 20, 107 to make it into the top 20 today. Martin Jaeger, 32nd position, and some World Cup points to his credit today. Oscar Brandt just outside. I wonder if he was told what he needed to do to make the top 60. All he needed was 3 more seconds, but couldn't find that today, so he finds himself in 62nd position. Nikita Labastu, perfect shooting. So throughout the whole field, with the first of the Belarus athletes starting position 8, Lazuski, all the way back to the last of the Belarus athletes, we've seen strong skiing and very, very solid shooting throughout. And this Belarus team, they must feel they can challenge in every single relay race, and certainly challenge for the big titles as well. Of course, Smolski today, the best of the Belarus, as we see Labastu taking a 27th position. So that's his capacity at the moment. Ski time 1:20 behind. Can't improve on the range. But it's very, very good biathlon. As I said, Smolski, the best of the Belarus today. Another 10 out of 10 perfect shooting, and Smolski only 26.5 seconds behind in 6th place. Patrick Jakob racing at home last weekend. It didn't go exceptionally well. In fact, an 80th position, so running really much around the same pace. He shot well last week as well, missing only 1, finishing 80th. So the 25-year-old Patrick Jakob just needs to find some more pace on the track with safe shooting like that, but certainly around Eder and the big names, Leitner, Felix Leitner, and the Austrian team, very quickly he'll learn how it works, how to lift the ski speed. But for now, Jakob just inside the top 100.
On a vu Patrick Jakob qui vient tout juste d'en terminer, malheureusement, avec sa 97e place provisoire malgré un bon 9 sur 10 sur le pas de tir. Et bien, ça ne lui permettra pas non plus de prendre part à la poursuite, ce sac qui devait être
Faen, jeg var stiv oppgitt der. Det blir bra dag i morgen. Det var ikke det eneste. Det var faen meg null respons i snøen der også. Ja, han er ute. Han var digg å ha, ass. Hæ? Takk. Skjønte du var stiv når du måtte slette den litt grann der? Ja, det var trått den bakken med deg der, på siste runden. Det ble jo bare tråder og tråder, egentlig, i snøen der.
Qui a terminé, 27e, donc la bateau il en a déjà terminé, 27e, très bon résultat le Biélorusse, le dernier athlète en piste, avec son dossard 109, et oui, et pas forcément remporté, ça y est, c'est ferme, c'est définitif.
Avec effectivement le retour du backup. Eh oui.
Johannes, last week you said it was getting there, and you did it in a quite fantastic fashion today.
Yeah, this was really good. I'm very well pleased with my performance. With an early bib number, I tried to set a good pace from start, and I was really happy with what I did on the shooting range, and the total race was very well done.
How does it feel to have such crazy crowd back on the tracks?
It means everything. Coming to the stadium today, I was ready for race at once when I hear the sound. So I think I miss it a lot. With no people, you are a little too tired. You have not the adrenaline in your body. So to come here and you feel the energy, and you just want to show them, to give them back from because they are here to cheer for us. We fight on the track for them.
And you did it for them as well. So congrats.
Thanks.
Et du général, et 3 petits points désormais séparent le Suédois d'Emilia Jacquard.
Les officiels de cette cérémonie protocolaire seront